Hi, everybody. It's Michelle, co author of Methylation Madness Insight into the Biochemical and Personal Lives of Hypermethylators. So, it's been quite a while since I actually made like a true video. Um, no reason, really, just very busy. Um, so, I thought that I would speak to you about the conference. I know I posted a gazillion pictures, but it was more of like a social thing with my daughter and here and there about the conference itself. I have to say that it was one of the best experiences of my life, and I am so honored with that I was able to talk and be with Dr. Doolin um, for the conference, and that the American Naturopath Medical Association inquired about us, and we have been asked back for next year. So it's really a fabulous setup. And the first time that I was there, I was just getting over my liver failure. And it was a little surreal for me because, like, I'm not sure, how many of you watched our video. And I know it's a little bit, the sound isn't all that great. But the lecture, I mentioned that it was kind of interesting to be at the convention this time as a lecturer rather than somebody who's looking for more help. Doc took me there years ago, right after I got sick. Well, actually, after I got sick, but I was getting better, and he wanted me to come to this convention to see if there were any other doctors there who could give a little bit more insight. And they also have a lot of different treatments there. So when I was there the last time, I looked pretty bad. I was on the yellowish still side, but you know, it's really neat that I was able to speak to all these doctors, and none of them walked out of the room, which was fabulous. So I guess we did a good job. But I was able to really share my experiences for the first time to doctors. And I was a little bit nervous, but I wasn't really nervous. I didn't have to memorize anything or anything like that. It was basically I was just sharing my life story, which I've done a gazillion times, but um, I had to do it in a little bit more of a professional manner, and I had to, talk a little bit more about genetics and biochemistry and things like that. But it was so amazing looking out and seeing all these doctors like interested in what I had to say and interested in my life. And then after, you guys didn't see that part of it, whoever watched the video, after we were finished speaking, people just swarmed us in the hallway where we had our table, which I posted a picture of. They just came and swarmed with us over to us and were asking all kinds of questions, and Dr. Doolin was answering, and they were asking me things, and they were so amazed about what I went through and that I was alive. And then the next day I went back, and I sat out, in the lobby with the book, and I had doctors coming to me, and Dr. Doolin wasn't there at the time. It was just me. And these doctors were coming and asking me all kinds of questions. And after 30 years of being a hypermethylator and being in the whole biochemistry situation, it was really interesting. I was nervous, so my adrenaline was firing. So I was there for about 2.5 hours. So it was nerve wracking because I'm not the biochemist. I'm the patient, so to speak. Well, not so to speak. I am, but I was able to answer a lot of questions. Um, Even though I answer a ton of questions online, hundreds of people daily, comment or ask me questions or whatever, or I am me. But I was speaking to doctors, and I was really able to get my point across and understand what they were saying, and it was just really cool. So I cannot wait for next year. Doc and I already have a plan on what we're going to be speaking of, and more about methylation chemistry, of course, but a little bit more about my symptoms and my sulfur sisters' symptoms and how they truly relate to specific genetics. So it should be pretty cool. We got to start working on that. While I was there, I made a post about the suntan lotion, which truly was crazy. It was just insanely itchy. And I couldn't figure out why the last time that happened. I didn't even I thought about it, but I don't really have a huge issue about putting things on my body. I did try a perfume one time that raised my adrenaline really quickly. Actually, it was Olivia's, my daughter's. It was bad. We had to return it. It was really bad. And going into lavender fields, and I don't use anything with lavender and stuff like that, but I don't usually have any problems with creams and stuff. So I was so itchy. It was literally horrendous. Hold on, Aspens. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, my dog was being a pain. So when I put on this suntan lotion, it was very soon, right after I put it on, that I just became so itchy. And I went straight to Doc, and he said, let me see what's in it. And I looked, and I was like, you idiot, Michelle, you idiot. So that took, I would say, what did we get back 2 weeks ago? I would say that I stopped really being itchy maybe a week ago. It was just crazy. So that was one thing. So really, I really have to be careful. And then what else? That was really all about the trip. It was a fabulous experience, just fun too. So last night I made a protein soup, and I was so tired. It took 6 hours to make because I made it from a fresh bone broth. And I was going to video it, but I just was so tired after work, and I just didn't feel like it. But it was really good. I actually made it for my parents. I can't eat it because I put some peas and some tomatoes in it. But it was a beef vegetable soup. I made like I was saying, I made a fresh bone broth with about 6 marrow bones and a full soup pot, pasta pot of water. And I put inside it, I put anise, I put in bay leaves and a little bit of salt, because my dad can't eat salt. So I put that in, and I put it in the Instapot, and it came out good. I do have to say that making it on the stove and really boiling it for like 10 hours makes a difference, but it made a really nice bone broth. And then I strained it, and I put it back into the Instapot. I put in lentils and peas, new tricolor potatoes, which I peeled so they wouldn't have the peel in it. And then I cut them all up. I put in tricolored carrots, so it would give the soup a little bit of a prettier look too. I put in a thing of crushed tomato, half a can of that. And then I put in 2 pounds of chuck stew meat, but I cut it like the size of my nail. Each piece was really good. I was joking with my parents just now. I'm like, yeah, every tiny piece of soup has, every spoon of soup has a perfectly cut piece of meat. And then I also put in 2 scoops of collagen powder. So it was really filled with tons of protein. And I put in crushed cumin, I put in some mace. I put in oregano. I put in coconut aminos, and I think that was it. And I cooked it in the Instapot, and it really, really, really just, it was, I tasted it. It really tasted good. You could taste the back taste of the anise, star of anise, and the mace. It's a strange, it's an interesting flavor, the mace. So that's what I did. I made 4 quarts of that, super high protein from my parents. And that really is all that's going on. Oh, I had around my neck, I don't think you could really, I don't know if you could see it, but I had really super bad eczema on my neck, and I was still a little bit itchy. So I decided the other night, okay, I'm going to do 200 milligrams of niacin. Whew, that was, what's today, Wednesday? That was Monday night. So when you take niacin, or when I take niacin, as I've been instructed over a gazillion years with Doc, is don't eat anything with it. But my problem is I get severe stomach aches when I take niacin. Sometimes I could just, shoot down a one of those go-go squeeze applesauces, and the fruit cuts the niacin flush. But I made sure that I had to get a really good flush. Like I had to get all that toxins out of me from the suntan lotion, and then the eczema situation. I'm taking PPC, which usually cuts my eczema or my psoriasis, not eczema, psoriasis. It usually cuts it, but for some reason it's been so bad, and I think it's just because my adrenaline's been funky because of all that sulfur that I put on my body like an idiot. So I ate a good dinner, and then I waited 20 minutes, and I then took 200 milligrams of niacin, and I sucked down almost 24 ounces of water. The water is what really gets that niacin flush going. So for about 20 minutes, there was nothing. And I said, oh man, if I don't get a flush after 20 minutes, my adrenaline's just stuck. My histamines are just stuck. So I end up drinking more water, and I started getting a stomach ache. And I was like, okay, here we go. But I had to man up with the stomach ache because I needed the flush. And after that, I flushed for about an hour, and I was like reddish pink, as my cat. And it lasted. I almost had welts on my legs. And what that is basically my histamine level was so high, goes down. That's what the niacin did. So that was 2 days ago, and I feel it on my neck. It's kind of crinkly, and but I have not scratched my neck. I mean, I was literally clawing my neck. It was just brutal. So that really helped a lot. And I've also been noticing that when I'm eating turkey during the day, I crash. So I spoke to Doc, and he switched me up a little bit and told me not to eat the turkey during the day anymore. Because for some reason, being my bilirubin is on the low side right now, though I'm still hypermethylating. That's what's happening, is it's just crashing me. So, what else? I think I keep saying what else, and then I come up with something else, but I do think that that's really all. But I really wanted to get in touch with you guys and just verbalize everything that went on at the conference, and excuse me, I have the hiccups, and everything that just, has been going on in life with my biochemistry. So that's it. And please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really want to get more, I want to get more subscribers. I have 163 subscribers so far. We have like 100 and, I didn't check yesterday. I think we had 125 views on our lecture, which Dr. Dool and I are really thankful. So thank you so much, all of you who've watched. Tell your friends, tell your family. Need a glass of water. And signing off. Have a wonderful evening.